Welcome to SUPERA, the video podcast with Castro Realty Group and Nebraska Realty. My name is Ricardo Castro. I'm happy to have here to my right a good friend of the community, an excellent human being. She's the head of a good big family of business owners, entrepreneurs, small business owners who not only serve the community business-wise, they do a lot for all of us. I have Diva Mejías here to my right, a good friend of my family, a good friend of the community again. She is, before we were going live, she was giving me important advice about how to maximize my benefits, tax benefits, and some other things that I, after 23 years running my business, I still don't do and I still don't pay attention. I'm in the process in the last few years on educating myself as much as I can, or trusting people who know about maximizing, taking advantage of benefits and actually not wasting much money. Diva Mejías with DM Financial is here to tell us a little bit how we can improve our life and through our business life. Welcome, Diva.
Thank you, Ricardo, for having me here. I'm very happy to be here because finances is a very personal thing. And nobody changes their accountants, nobody changes their bankers unless something happens, right? So I'm not here to replace anybody out there. I'm here to educate. One of the things that I realized regarding taxes is I help individuals and entrepreneurs reduce or eliminate their tax liability. And I do that because we work hard. We work really hard to put money in our pocket. And it's not fair that we put it in this pocket and then Uncle Sam is in this pocket taking it out. So I believe that not only the rich or the 1%ers should know all of these tax strategies. And a lot of times, you look at TikTok and you look at Instagram and you hear about, oh, this tax loophole and that tax loophole. They're not tax loopholes. They are listed right in the tax code to incentivize you and me and all of us to put money into the economy, to contribute it to the economy, and to get benefits as a result of. So I love this stuff. I mean, thank you so much for inviting me so that we can have that talk about some tax tips.
And Diva, I have to confess, the whole topic is difficult for me. I was blessed to have a college education, business administration, and guess what? The only course that I repeat, more than one time was accounting, and it's always been difficult for me to just click in my head and understanding. Now, I was talking to you before, and before a few minutes ago, and also I was in the middle of a session a couple days ago with someone else, and then things that you guys say are so logical and make sense that we business owners don't do. We have all the time to take care of clients. We have all the time to research for clients. We help people making money, but we don't organize our own business. And then we are working so many hours for someone else, and we are not using our time effectively, to say it in a way. How this is tax season right now, the end of February 2026. The government last year did a few important changes in the tax tax policies and things like that. What piece of advice would tell to small business owners, let's say the ones who are in the first 5 years their entrepreneurship experience?
Well, first of all, you have to start with the foundation. You don't build a home without a foundation. So your foundation could be, this is how I look at it. Your foundation is either made of brick, which is solid. It could be made of sand and you could be wobbly, or it could just be made of water and you could just be drowning all the time. So when you first decide to go into business, and even those of you that are in business now, take a look at the foundation. What is your structure? How are you listed? Are you a sole proprietor? Are you a partnership? Are you a corporation? You can, and this term LLC, everybody wants to be an LLC. But the LLC, I want to put it in perspective. the LLC is a shield. You're going to go to war and you don't want bullets to hit you personally. So you're in business and you wanted the LLC to shield your business. So if somebody sues you in the business, they can't touch you personally. But it's not for, the IRS is not going to recognize the LLC per se as an entity. You're either a sole proprietor, a partnership, or an S corp. And Ricardo, you could be an LLC sole proprietor, so Ricardo Castro LLC, or you could be a partnership LLC. So you see, the LLC is just the term to protect you. So that's the first misconception that a lot of owners have, that they right away they say, well, I'm an LLC, I'm fine. And don't forget, the LLC will protect you, and I'm not an attorney, so that's a disclaimer, but the LLC will protect you if somebody sues you in your job. But let's say you go out there and you decide to have a drink or too many drinks, and you kill somebody out there. That LLC is not going to protect you, because the LLC is protecting you for your job, not for anything crazy you do personally. So just don't get that mixed up. So structure is very important, because how you structure your business is how the IRS is going to tax you. Now, if you're a sole proprietor, the government loves you, because you're the highest tax percentage-wise that you're going to be taxed. Because as a sole proprietor, you're subject to something called self-employment tax. That's 15.3% of whatever you make. So let's say you make $100,000. Let's say you net $100,000 as your profit on your tax return. First thing out of that, you get 15.3% tax. And when that Schedule C goes onto your 1040, now your tax bracket, what are you? Are you at 20%, 24%? You could be even a 37% tax bracket. Add that to your 15%. So 15% plus another 30, you're paying the government half, if not almost more than what you're making. And this is why I keep telling people, Ricardo, I'm 71 years old. Been there, done that. The reason why I love this stuff is because I cannot see people giving their hard-earned money to Uncle Sam when they could take those dollars. Just think about it. You don't have to do anything different. Just take what you currently have, shift it so that instead of Uncle Sam having it, you have it, and you build generational wealth for you, for your family, your children, and their children.
That makes a lot of sense. For one thing that I've been learning over the years, I was so happy for the success that my efforts was bringing to me and my family. Mm-hmm. But after so many years in the industry, I kind of fell down, thinking how in the world I didn't. I used my skills to build business and equity and capital and assets, but I'm working perhaps the same hours many of us would wonder as 23 years ago, and why? And funny thing is, many of us starting December or January we start working hard, making a lot of money because we need to pay Uncle Sam at the end of March.
Right.
And so foundations, keyword what you just mentioned, foundations. Now, for me at this point, it's so difficult to just sit down and find the education that I need. But I think it's not smart if I don't slow down, actually stop for a little bit and start getting educated myself. And that's one thing that we business owners, small business owners, we need to conquer. We need to win that mental battle that we're facing ourselves, right? You told me many things. Tax season at this point, I mean, or let's say what the big beautiful bill, is that how it is?
One big beautiful bill.
One big beautiful
bill act. That's what it's called.
Act from last year, 2025, offers many of the business owners who could be listening to us. Let's say, to give an example, to make the question not that broad, to people, business owners investing in real estate.
Okay, even for business owners investing in real estate, one of the good things that the OBBA came out with is the QBI, they call it, the Qualified Business Incentives, the 20% that you can deduct. It was temporarily, it was supposed to be expiring on the end of 2025, and the administration extended it. Now it's permanent. Now, what does that mean, the QBI? Who would know who qualifies for the QBI? Well, it's just that the government said they were giving so much to the corporations, because that's what he did. He gave a lot to the corporations. He had to give something to the small business owner. And what he gave was, you can deduct 20% of your income and not be taxed on it. So let's say, for example, again, I go back to the 100,000. You may make 100,000, you may make less. It doesn't matter. But let's say, for example, you net $100,000. You normally would have been taxed on the $100,000, but with the QBI, you get a 20% discount, so to speak. Like you deduct 20%, you don't get taxed on that, and you only pay taxes on the $80,000.
For $80,000.
Right. So that QBI is very, very important for the realtors. One thing that I just had a session with some realtors on Saturday, and I was talking to them, high earning realtors, and I was talking to them about the very simple things that everybody knows you should do. Everybody knows everybody can do it, and then nobody does it. Let's take something as simple as mileage. You know, mileage is 72.5 cents per mile. That is huge for the gallon. And what happens? People say, oh, I take my mileage, and then when they sit in front of me and I say, well, where's your mileage log? How many miles did you drive last year? They do this. And I say, it's not up there. You got to have it written. If it's not written, it's the IRS discounts it. They take it out. So I'm telling everybody, look, there's an application that you can put on your phone. It's called Mile IQ. It's free. It's free. And what that application does is, as soon as your cell phone starts traveling more than, I think it's 5 or 7 miles, I'm not sure, but as soon as it starts traveling, it pins you with the satellite. It captures where you started, and then it stops when you stop. And every night, just like you can go home and go to the bathroom and start scrolling like TikTok, and so now scroll on your Mile IQ and say, oh, that trip I made was business. Swipe it. That trip was personal. Business, personal.
When you said 72.5, what? 70, you can deduct?
72 cents, 72.5 cents per mile is what you can deduct.
Okay.
Deduct from your tax return.
And that applies to any business owner, right? And we are talking about, you just mentioned the example of realtor, but use a landlord. I mean, we have many people who purchase or flip houses with us. They are driving. Maybe they are not doing the work, but they are going to the property to supervise the work of the third party.
Yeah. The tax code incentivizes you to take those miles. Now, if you want to deduct auto expenses, there's 2 ways you can deduct auto expenses. One is the actual, like if you have a vehicle and you put it in service in your business, like you have your vehicle and you want to deduct you want to deduct the tires, the maintenance, the oil, the gas, all that. That's the actual, okay? That's one way. Then there's the mileage. So you can't do both for the same vehicle, but you can deduct it differently. The 72.5 cents per mile is huge because it's like, you got the wear and tear in the car.
Exactly.
Right? You might as well take that deduction. So a lot of realtors, they don't do that. A lot of business owners, you forget that you go out and you buy your stuff, your supplies. You forget you went to the Home Depot or the Menards or wherever
we forgot that we came to this business meeting and we drove this way.
Right.
Let's say an example. We are hosted today by Ikasan restaurant. This beautiful location, is one of the many restaurants this small business owner owns in town. This is by 38th Avenue and Farnham, in Blackstone area. So the owner of this property, or this restaurant, when he comes to work here and see all his other restaurants, he has one in Papillion, has one downtown, Benson, 132nd and Maple. He can take advantage of that.
Yeah, capture the miles. Now, remind you, if you get audited and you don't have a mile log, they'll take it out. They'll disallow it. You have to have a mile log, meaning the Mile IQ program will give you a report. So just a report.
Oh, you have to have it electronically only?
No, it could be written. What I tell some of my clients is, I usually tell them this for like Super Bowl. Okay. When you go to when you're looking at the Super Bowl, you're sitting there anyway. So take out a calendar, just a plain old calendar. Go to the dollar store, get a calendar, and just jot down where you went. That's the least you could do. Jot down in your if you don't have an electronic, jot it down where you went, how many miles, the to and the from. You have to. It has to be written, and it has to be contemporary. So it has to be like chronologically correct, okay? So they don't disallow it, because in tax court they'll say, sorry, Ricardo, you put 40,000 miles, we're going to take it away, and you're going to have to pay that money back.
Any other? We have many people in our community too who own restaurants, like Ikasan here. Any good tips coming from the last year changes for them?
Well, there's so many. There's just so much that went on into that old, one big bill. But I'm trying to think of, for entrepreneurs, the main things were the QBI, also the for families. I mean, that was good. I'm just trying to think. Oh my, there was just so much. My mind is like.
We have contractors in the community. We have people owning retail.
The difference between this is a big one. The difference between an independent contractor and an employee. For those of you that own restaurants, that own not necessarily realtors, since realtors don't normally hire independent contractors, but for restaurant owners, let's say, a big thing that came through on the OBB bill was the no tax on tips. The overtime, the big, huge on the overtime. We thought it was going to be everything, but there's restrictions and there are rules they have to follow. Okay, for the no tax on overtime. It's not just all overtime. Okay, there are ways you got to go about it. And the no tax on tips. That was a big one for restaurants.
Like back in the day.
And then if you're a senior, like myself, you get an additional $6,000 that you can deduct on your tax return. So if you're married and you're both seniors, that's $12,000 that you can deduct. These things are huge. They're all in the tax code. Everything is there. The problem is nobody wants to read it. It's like the thousands and thousands of pages. That I pride myself in differentiating myself, because I like to read tax code, because I call it the hidden penny. And it's trademarked, my hidden penny. I find things in the tax code that people overlook not because we're lazy, but because we're human and we don't want to deal with it. They don't teach it in school. You went to school, you got your bachelor's, right? They don't teach it. They don't teach it.
No,
even in the masters, they don't teach it. These things they don't teach, and they should teach it, because they should.
As we tell our clients at Castro Realty Group, we help a lot of people, investors in the case of real estate, who flip houses or landlords. We always recommend to have a team around you. Okay, you trust us to look for the house and recommend your house and give you a market analysis and things like that. But you have to have reachable in your team, someone that you trust with tax education and how to manage your money in different aspects. Take your time, interview people, reach out to Diva Mejías with DM Financial. You can even find Diva Mejías online a lot with the Diva's 2 Cents show. I love that. Diva's 2 Cents in Facebook. But Diva, where can people find you?
I'm located at 4611 South 96th Street. It's best to just text me or find me on Facebook. Look for me there, because I'm all over the place. I travel a lot. I do a lot of international, I speak a lot out. So I'm all over the place. But reach out to me at, you can even email me if you'd like. I've got several emails, but you can email me at divamejias@gmail.com.
We have an excellent professional here, and it sounds common to say, well, she or he does something for the community. Diva actually is going to sit down with you without any interest and help you. Then you decide if you want to use her services, her team services. And I can assure you that. She respects a lot on what you have in mind and your own relationships, but you need guidance. and you need someone who knows. We have someone who speaks publicly in events about accounting, tax advantages, and education in different states and countries. And you have Diva here living in town. So reach out to Diva.
Yeah, I'll help anybody.
What other comments or topics or tips you would like to share today?
My motto is numbers tell stories. Numbers tell stories. What story are your numbers telling you? Are they telling you that, like when you look at your bank account, what story do those numbers tell you? Is it a story of despair? Is it a story of, oh my God, I got to make more? In your business, is your profit or your loss telling you the story that you're not doing well? That's what you've got to do. You've got to look at your numbers, be honest with yourself. It's very simple.
Exactly.
It's very simple to say, oh, it's going to get better. It's like the closet. You open up the closet and you have all these clothes, and these don't fit you anymore, but you don't want to get rid of them because you're going to lose weight. Well, get real with yourself and say, it's time to find out what story my numbers are telling me so that I can redirect my numbers.
And many of us, Diva, and I'm sure you experienced that or you saw your clients. Many of us are running excellent businesses with good production that we are calling a lot of attention, but then we don't see that in our bank accounts. Or then we are rushing at the end of the month to make payments or to sell more. Why? Because we didn't put the right foundations when you open a business, or we didn't stop at one point and say, okay, this is my time to re-engineer myself and my business.
Yeah. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. I mean, I know finances is personal, but there's no embarrassment there. Just find out. Be honest with yourself.
Honest. That's a key word. Is put everything on the table, and have the professional helping you evaluating and advising you, but be crystal clear, be honest and say, okay, this is who I am, this is what I have, and this is what I want to get to, or this is what I want to go.
Yeah, and if any of you want a tax assessment, I call them tax leak assessments because I find the tax leaks in your taxes. Just reach out to me. We'll schedule a call and we'll move forward. I mean, you don't have to change accountants. I can give you a tax plan. You take it to your whoever it is that you have more trust, but at least know where you're at.
Thank you, Diva. Thank you very much. Diva Mejías, DM Financial, has been helping us for so many years. She has a lot of experience in accounting. I mean, to finalize, actually, maybe we should have started with this before. Tell us a little bit about your background, because that's pretty interesting too.
Yeah, I spent 31 years working for United Parcel Service in the corporate world as the controller. So I managed about $380 million a year for them. I worked about 31 years. I've got about 13 years of experience being on my own doing the tax stuff. More than 12. My gosh, I'm 71 years old. So I've got over 40 somewhat years of experience. So when I talk to you, I'm not talking to you from theory. I'm talking to you so that it could curb that, you don't have to spend 40 years learning what I've learned. Okay? I have my master's degree. I'm on Bellevue University's board of directors. I'm on the board of the Nebraska Hispanic Chamber Commerce and its foundation. And I've been all over. So I've got a lot of experience. So when I talk to you, I'm not just blowing it, and that's why I love what I do and I don't find it work. And I want to help as many people as I can while I still live.
Passion. Diva Mejia shows a lot of passion to help, and it's not one more person helping. It's real help. I mean, she even told you you don't need to go to change accountants. Just have her go through your plan and help you planning. Diva, thank you very much. Thank you one more time. You and I shared the board of Hispanic Chamber many years ago. That's how I met you, and through the community as well, investing your time and your knowledge for free to make it plain and clear. And thank you also to the owners of Ikasan. Ikasan is a restaurant. We have many locations in town. Right here, we are at 32nd Avenue and Farnham Street in Blackstone area. Follow them online too and go and visit them and support our local business owners. Diva Mejia owns a small business, many small businesses. So actually, she's not telling you advice based on her accounting, academic, and education, also as a business owner. Help Ikasan and their restaurants. And of course, Castro Realty Group, Nebraska Realty. We have been doing business, helping people for 23 years. And all we are bringing to you is answers and information. We don't have these questions some people ask us. I mean, we don't have the answers for that. Like it's the real the one who knows is supposed to be your source. Ricardo Castro, Castro Realty Group with Diva Mejías, DM Financial. Check her online on Diva's 2 cents in Facebook. There's a lot of information there. And of course, check us online, Castro Realty Group, in all the platforms. Thank you, and until see you guys in 2 weeks.